underground crypto.
It's the underground crypto back at it again. The future is bright. The future is very bright for Stellar. Stellar Development Foundation, Stellar Lumens. The future is bright all around. And I hope everyone enjoyed the last show, XLM Moonboy. So that was a good show there. All right, so for today's show, we got a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about. So before we get into the agenda of today's show, as a reminder, Stellar Motivation Episode 2 is coming soon. Done deal, Dixon. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be very good. So possibly next week I'll be launching this, so look out for that. Also, Christopher Darigo, I mailed out his Ledger Nano X. He was the winner there. And we have some stellar fan art. So Mr. Roshi, he's an aspiring comic book artist, and he sent me some art. And I did choose the Stella art to display here. So let Mr. Roshi know if you are digging the Stella art. I'm digging it. I like these eyes, the Stella eyes with the icon there, the logo. All right, so as a reminder, tomorrow I'll be selecting a winner for the 100 XLM as part of the 500 XLM giveaway. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, and comment to be entered. And I'm feeling so good, all right? I'm feeling good. I know you're feeling good out there because the sleeping giant is doing its thing. I'm going to be giving away 10 XLM to the first person who can name the movie in this cover. What year did it come out? And the actor's name in the cover. So the first person to get these three questions right will receive 10 XLM. I'll send it right over. Right over. And there's clues in this image as well to help you answer some of that question. So also, someone did comment. I saw on the last video, they mentioned underground crypto. How much Stellar XLM should I grab? And another person commented, I think it was Faya, Faia. How many should I get? Polkadot or Stellar? I said, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice for entertainment purposes only. But this is what you have to do. Not financial advice. Is you have to diversify. And I was on a Zoom call today in a trading group. And one thing the guy mentioned is residual income. Right? And utilizing those residual income instead of using your own money to do your swing trades, day trades, and to fill up your hodl bag. So this is the 3 cryptocurrency revenue streams here that you can aspire to. So you can have an automated system, and I'll be showing some of this too in the future, ways you can receive cryptocurrency in an automated fashion with residual income. Utilizing that, you can then make even more money with swing trades to 10, 20, 30, 100x your pot, and then you have your hodl bag. So this is something that you can do some research and look into for all those that commented on that. And I did flood my bag. I filled up my bag. with some Stellas, some ETHs, and ADA, right? But one thing I did see, I noticed that these exchanges, they're charging higher commissions. Like one was $20. I'm like, whoa. And it used to be free. I think it was crypto.com and Coinbase. So what I decided to do, I was like, let me check out Stellar X, right? So Stellar X is the trading there is totally free, and it's the world's first crypto platform with global fiat gateways. So check that out. If you're tired of these fees when you look to fill up your bag, flood your bag, check out Stellar X. All right, so we're going to dive into today's show. The future is bright. And we're going to specifically look at two areas. And when you do think about how a company is moving forward, you have to look at what their plans were. Look back in time. What did they plan out? Are they achieving those goals? Because that will tell us a lot, potentially, of how successful they'll be and what their mindset is. What's their mindset? So we see a lot of stories right now of deals and, Ukraine joining, Brazil, these other countries, but what's the Stellar Development Foundation mindset? What were their goals? Back in 2019 when Done Deal Dixon arrived. So we're going to play a few clips, probably 4 clips, and really see what the mindset is and what they're looking to achieve. And also we're going to touch on USDC as well. So that's the video. That's the agenda for today. Stella. All right, so quickly on the Coinbase, on the CoinMarketCap, we can see we're still over $1 trillion. Bitcoin is still consolidating. ETH is still being a beast. And Polkadot is, one person commented that they sold some Stellar to jump on the Polkadot bandwagon. Now they're back in to Stellar, and we can see Stellar slipped here to 10th spot, but it is climbing though. It's back at 31 cents. I did see it at 28 cents a little bit earlier in the week. And Chainlink is beast in there, but Stellar, the sleeping giant, will get to the top 5. That's a promise, not financial advice, for entertainment purposes only. All right, so we're going to dive into today's show. The future is bright. And we're going to first look at the clip. When Donnell Dixon arrived back in 2019, what was the goal for the Stellar Development Foundation and for Stellar? So we're going to listen to a clip of this. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to play 3 other clips after that. All right, turn up your speakers.
What it is that the role of the Stellar Development Foundation is as we get through this. And I think it's really important to talk about Stellar Development Foundation itself instead of Stellar. Because many of you know that we shepherd the code base, that we do lots of things, but many of you probably don't know the details of what SDF is. And so I thought maybe I would go into that a little bit. First, we're a nonprofit. Why is that important? We don't have shareholders. Why is that important? There is not one person who can actually benefit and who actually gets a dividend or a payout with respect to anything that the SDF does. That's important because that should build trust too. So that's a really important fact that I want you to think about. The other thing is, we're a taxpayer. We actually pay taxes in the state of California and at the federal government. And we're not a charity. And finally, all of the capital that we have at the SDF is actually used to support and make Stellar, the network, successful. So we talk about this as no shareholder value, no dividends, no EBITDA, no stock price focus, none of those those things that you talk about when you talk about corporate America. We don't have those things. All we have to think about is making Stellar the global payment standard. That's our daily goal. That's our quarterly goal. That's our annual goal. That's our only goal.
Stellar, the global payment standard. So we can see that's the mindset they had back then. 2019, November. Making Stellar Network the global payment standard. And we see this happening. We see it. And we're going to get closer and closer with the U.S. government potentially being a part of this. All right, so the next clip that I'm going to play is what was not working back then. What wasn't working? So we're going to listen to what was not working and how things shifted from that point.
It hasn't been working so much. Our marketing. Some of you may say, what marketing? So we just hired our CMO. Yay! It's not marketing for SDF. It's marketing for Stellar. Marketing for all of you. Partnership marketing as well as network marketing. Our policy and our focus on regulatory efforts. We've done so much better over the last 6 to 8 months. And we're going to get so much better. We have a general counsel now who's focused on this, and we also are hiring a head of policy who's going to be focused on that from a global standpoint. Our Lumen distribution through grants and airdrops. We've seen some pretty awesome results, and yet.
All right, so we see what wasn't working back then was their marketing, right? Policy and regulation efforts, and we see how Done Deal Dixon, she's been in a lot of meetings to push for regulation, bring clarity to the space in regards to blockchain, transparency, and also resolving the lumens issue. The lumens issue back then was there were too many lumens. Lumens wasn't really booming. It was over 100 billion. Now it's at 50 billion. So the next clip I'm going to play, this shows how there's a refocused mission and what the pillars are. So we're going to listen to this clip.
It's an awesome mission, as I mentioned. I mean awesome in the sense that it's big. But we're committed to it. And we want to use not just Stellar, but all of the work that you guys have done to make this happen. And as we reflected on it, we also thought about what are some of the pillars that we need to put in play to help us to say yes.
And we can see these pillars right here. Ensure robustness and usability of Stellar. Be the blockchain people know and trust. Trust. Right now, sorry to say, XRP, Ripple, there's not too much trust there with banks and the US government. So be the blockchain people know and trust. This is why I believe the US government and Stellar will have a marriage. There will be a strong connection. Also more banks heading to Stellar Way. Be the blockchain people know and trust. Done Deal Dixon, getting it done. And foster and develop real sustainable use cases. Right, so the last clip that I'm going to play talks about, and I mentioned it before, how there's over 100 billion lumens. Now there's only 22 billion circulating. And the other lumens are used for operations, development, in other areas. So we're going to look at the other two areas that will help make the future brighter. So I'm going to play that clip now.
So let's talk about the partnerships, what was previously the partnerships program. We've broken that up into two. So we have the ecosystem support. We have a lot of great work that's been done with respect to infrastructure grants and the community fund, and those are going to continue with 1 billion of the lumens that we have. Now, I should have also said that each of these are going to be set in accounts that are going to be public so that folks can see them, and you can see when lumens are being utilized for these different projects or these different programs that we have. And so we also have currency support for things like anchors or supporting liquidity in the market. These are things that will come out of the currency support bucket of 1 billion. And then we have this new program that is the use case investment, where we've set aside 10 billion XLM. And what that's for is 2 billion of it will be used for the SDF to be able to build new products and use cases as we help to fill in pieces of the network that we think need the support. And that'll also have its own account and be visible to folks as they go through it, as we start using the funds. And then the enterprise fund, which is a slight twist and I think a better way to think about partnership grants. Because what we can do with this enterprise fund now is we can actually take equity in companies, we can acquire companies, and we can hold them as part of this enterprise fund. But we can actually have more control and ability to dictate what happens with respect to Stellar and their use of Stellar, and the movement of those companies into and onto the Stellar network. So,
All right, so we saw that there. And so use case investment, new products, and enterprise fund. So we do look at the recent tweet here. They're saying we're looking for an experienced hands-on engineer to design, build, and implement solutions for Stellar ecosystem partners. So that goes with the new products. And then we have the enterprise fund. So if you go to stellar.org foundation mandate, we can see what Dun Deal Dixon was talking about, the 10 billion XLM, what it will be utilized for, so new products. So we can see here they haven't really used that much of the original balance for new products, but for the enterprise fund, it was 8 billion, and we could see some of that was used. And there were companies that were acquired, other investments in 2020. So there's a lot of room here for new products and to acquire and invest. So the future is bright. We can see how bright the future is for Stellar. You can see where this is utilized. So if you go on the stellar.expert site, you can see new products here. You can see the transactions here. So this is for new products. And over here, this is for the enterprise fund. So you can see the transactions here. So I love the transparency with this. This is very awesome and shows the dates and everything and the transactions that were sent. So this is awesome. And the US government, other nations love the transparency and the trust that Stellar brings. Stellar! Also, we can see here Stellar Lumens for Google Trends. We can see how things are picking up back in November, and it's at a high right now in January. So the interest for Stellar is booming, the future's bright, and we can see the different nations, the interest around the region. So Finland has a high interest, Ireland, United Kingdom, US. So there's a lot of interest around the world. And it may not be normal people. It may be governments looking at Stellar Lumens from around the world here. This is what we're seeing. Also, with USDC, and folks brought this up in the comments as well, this is coming soon. This is coming real soon, and there's going to be a price pump when this is released. USDC, Stellar can handle thousands of transactions per second with settlement finality in about 5 seconds and with fees that are a small fraction of a cent. Optimized for supporting payments use cases, it has a network of hundreds of exchanges and wallets and delivers on the mission of global financial inclusion with connectivity in many emerging markets. So this will pump the price. I'm not sure when this will drop, but it's going to be amazing. All right, so that's a wrap for today. Let me know what you think. Do you think the future is bright? All right, that's a wrap. Thanks a ton for watching. Don't forget, flood your bag. Not financial advice, but just saying. All right. And reminder, tomorrow's show, I'll be selecting a winner. So subscribe, comment, like. Thanks a ton for watching. Stand clear of the closing doors. The next stop for Stellar is the moon. Let's get it.
We don't have that much competition. They would use Stellar to make their payments faster.